If you're looking for convenience, eBay and Amazon have this guy, so check out links in the description down below. Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, and I'm starting those Bandai Godzilla 2019 reviews. And what way to start them off than with a bang? The Monster King Series Godzilla 2019. Yep, that's right. Following in line with what Jakks Pacific did, Bandai's Boy Division decided that they would go ahead and release yet another Monster King figure of the big guy himself. Now, as some of you might know, Bandai has normally done a normal release of Godzilla without light-up dorsal plates, and then some sort of exclusive release where his dorsal plates are lit up, whether it's going to be Shin and purple dorsal plates, or even maybe Godzilla Earth, where he's firing off his beam and his dorsal plates are lit up. But this time, the standard release is Godzilla in a Spitfire variant. So we get a variant here, and it's a larger figure. It's going to run you about $40. Is this thing worth it? And that's before shipping. Well, let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. Let's go ahead and take a look at that box first, because this is actually going to be kind of important for some folks. Why? A lot of people like to keep these things mint in the box, even though it's not really mint because there's no covering for it. Yeah. So if you take a look at it, Godzilla is facing left, and the tail is curved in the box, so this way it fits well enough, and it is facing up. On the back there, for the card, if you will, we have a nice render of Godzilla's brand new design for King of the Monsters. On the back, just some promotional shots of what else you could buy in the Monster King series lineup. Yep. I did review Shin, so if you want to see that, card in the top right-hand corner of your screen. All right, it's time to get down to business and actually take a look at the figure here. And I do have to say, wow, Bandai did a job. Yep. So there's a lot of good things about this figure, and there's a lot of neutral things. And by neutral, I mean simply lazy, and that they really didn't go the full effort here like they have been recently for some of their vinyl figures. However, some of the stuff they did really well, they did amazingly well. So it's kind of like where they put in effort, they exceeded. And everything else, it just kind of fell by the wayside. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at Godzilla now, so this way you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And here is what Bandai did really, really well. The paint on this guy looks great, except when you're looking at Godzilla from head on, you'll notice that he has a little bit of a goalpost going on in his top row of teeth. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't think about that. But anyway, the paint for Godzilla is great, whether it's going to be the blue spray on the dorsal plates or it's going to be the sort of ivory-ish coloration used for Godzilla's teeth. It is all applied well on mine, and it looks very good. The eyes on Godzilla are a metallic blue, which is an easy cop-out, but still, it does look pretty sweet. And the sculpt is nice as well. All of the details on Godzilla are really intricate, and it's very surprising that we were able to see this on a vinyl aimed at, let's call it as we see it here, folks, children. Yep, it is. It is at the end of the day. Sorry to say that, but yeah. So the paint looks great, and the sculpt is pretty rock solid. What are the drawbacks? Well, what's painted? The eyes, the dorsal plates, and the teeth. That's it. Nothing else. No shading on the claws like they did for Shin Godzilla. No sort of overspray to make it look like Godzilla is maybe lit up on his maybe rib cage. Kind of similar to what the Jakks Pacific small Spitfire Godzilla did. Or even one of the NECA releases. Yeah, they didn't really get to do anything sort of cool like that here. And even then, there's no dry brushing to sort of bring out the sculpted details along Godzilla's body as well. Yeah. And then the tail is kind of wimpy, sculpt-wise. It's kind of stunted, it looks. Yeah, not very good. But, yeah, it's $40. Ooh, $40? Ooh, Bandai, you really need to step up your game. Thankfully, though, I think the number one reason why people are going to buy this is for those dorsal plates, which you are seeing look amazing. The spray is fantastic, and it really does capture light very well. Unfortunately, not translucent plastic. It's going to be a metallic blue spray, so do keep that in mind. So overall, this thing does look great where it looks great, but Bandai went real lazy on this guy, sadly. Now for articulation, it's going to be short, sweet, and to the point. We get a swivel at each shoulder and a swivel at the hips. Nothing for the tail at all whatsoever, not a zip zilch. and nothing for the neck. So pretty limited movement there. Yep. Now it's time for a size comparison with some other figures you just might have, including all of the Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla 2019 figures released as of right now. So this way you have a good idea of how big this Godzilla will be with some of the other figures you just might have, even if they're going to be SH Figuarts or NECA's Godzilla 2014 24-inch head-to-tail figure. I got you covered here. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. At $40, Bandai really didn't do all that great of a job with making sure this thing could look as best as it could. They only used some metallic blue paint and some not exactly ivory on this guy overall. And yes, I know this isn't meant to be an action figure. This is more so like a squishy vinyl than it's going to be a Monster Arts, but there are only 2 points of articulation at the arms and 2 at the legs, 4 total. Nothing for the tail and nothing for the neck. If you go to Walmart and you spend $20, you're going to get a bigger, made of hard plastic Godzilla that not only has those same points of articulation, but has more for the tail, and it's going to be bigger and more paint to it as well. So what person at Bandai decided to run the numbers and come up with the idea that they weren't able to make something that had a lot of nice details to it at such a high cost? I don't know. Maybe completely different economies? At the end of the day, the hype surrounding this figure is real. It is the newest, latest, hottest, biggest Godzilla figure from Bandai, and everybody has to have it. That being said, if you want to get this, yeah, it's really cool. Those blue plates, oh, trust me, they look gorgeous in real life. But aside from that, yeah, that's kind of a one-trick pony. You're not going to be getting much else here. If you love the new design and you got to have a Spitfire version out the gate, definitely go ahead and pick this up. If not, I think you can wait until you find a pretty good deal on this one. It might be a while, because it's new. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now you've heard a lot from me, I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand-selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand-selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.